Hopefully, this will be the last time me trying to record this. So, take 1,005,050 whatever. What? Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Witches of the Moon. My name is Dia, aka of OriOasis.com, and this week we're talking about incorporating your mundane stuff into your witchy life. So, to get right to it, right? When you live more of a natural life, because that's what really witchy life is, you look at the physical things around you, and that's how you understand how it's done spiritually. So the physical shows you what is done spiritually and everything else. So one of the ways to incorporate the two, is to understand what your goal is and look at the physical aspects of the goal first before you do the spiritual aspects. Say, for instance, you're looking for a job. But I don't know why I always go to looking for a job, but it makes sense. If, say, for instance, you're looking for a job, well, the physical part of that would be filling out your resume, make sure your resume is up to date, going to talk to people, making connections with people to see, going to talk to people, making connections with people, making friends to see that you can have anybody's ear of who's hiring, and where they're hiring at, so you can kind of get firsthand before it hits all the different displays ain't the word. Hits all the different sites, so you can kind of get in there first. That'll be physical, and then you will go and do your attraction work, and your money work, your prosperity work, your road opening work, to connect the two. So that's the way to connect the your mundane work with your spiritual work. The same thing would be like if you're traveling. You can do a spell to protect your car, but you also should go ahead and get the oil changed, brakes changed, caliber changed. Make sure there's window washing fluid. Make sure it's properly balanced. Now, again, this goes according to your budget, how much you'll actually be able to practically do. But if you're planning this trip out, these are things that should be planned into the trip as well. Check your tire pressure gauge. Make sure it didn't leaks. These are practical things you would do. And then after that, you will go ahead and then do your protection spell for traveling. That's how you would, how you incorporate things. If you are cooking is, like I said, food is a great way to attract things. Everybody's eating something, so you have the physical item. Learn again. The physical will show you what the spiritual is. So learn when it comes to food and herbs and stuff. Learn their practical uses first. First of all, I'm sorry, I don't know how the light is going. First of all, if you learn the practical uses first, it will give you way more spiritual uses for you, because now it's customized to you. So learn the practical uses for you. What I say by this is, let's say apples and oranges, right? Between apples and oranges, you may like apples more. So if a spell calls for an orange, you may be able to use the apple. However, now it's a physical apple. You may be able to eat the apple, but now that you have this physical apple, you can do so much more with it, because this apple, or apples in general, vibrate to your energy. So, when incorporating the mundane into your life, it's not that hard to do. We all know that we should be cleaning stuff physically first before doing anything spiritually. So that's the easy way to incorporate it, and that should be on a regular basis. But other than that, it kind of merges together. Like, you can't sit on your behind expecting a check in the mail. Well, you can sit on your behind expecting your check in the mail, but at some point you still got to get off your butt and go at least get the mail out of the mailbox, or at least go answer the door. You know what I mean? So it kind of still goes hand in hand. You can't really separate the two. You can try to, but if you I can't say you can't separate the two. You can't separate the two. But when you separate the two, things don't manifest. You know that I love the Bible, and it's said in all ways and all different practices, but basically the Bible says faith without works is dead. So your faith is your spiritual work, but without works, which is the physical, nothing's still going to happen. So you can do the physical without the spiritual, you'll just be unfulfilled. But if you do the spiritual without the physical, you won't have nothing. So it goes hand in hand. You have to balance the two. So basically, like I said, learn. If you're not, I like to cook, but if you're not a person who like to cook or semi-cook or whatever, read the ingredients so you know what it's used for. Read the ingredients so you know what's in there, so you can know what it's used for. Like I said, you can easily buy pancake mix and make prosperity cakes, and that's something, you have something physical that you take that looks like little You can make dime pancakes. So they represent like little dime pancakes, little circle coins. And now you have something physical that you're taking in, something that's going to feed your family and your body, and it's something that you can practically put your spirituality into. So to bring it all for around. So it's not really for me, I think it's harder. I can't say for everybody. For me, I think it's harder to try to separate the two. Because for me, the physical comes so natural with the spiritual. I can't do one without the other. It just naturally happens. If I'm going to do a ritual, I'm going to clean first. If I'm going to do a candle prep, at least you have to buy a candle first. So you know what I mean? Like if you're buying candles, or if you make your own candles, you already know to set these physical items aside for your spiritual work. Keep charging, keep charging, keep charging, and then they're ready for it. I don't think there's much else to say about it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that because I can't think of it just I don't know how to explain it because it comes so, and I know it may not be natural for everybody, especially if you're just getting into it. But it just comes so natural to me because in order to understand and I guess it comes from just looking at stuff. We learn spirituality and the stars and stuff by physically studying it, by physically feeling something. When there's a spiritual spirit around, we physically feel the hairs on our neck, our senses, and we literally only have one sense. We only have one sense, that's touch. Something touch your ears, sound touches your ear, you hear. Scent and waves and all that touch your nose, you smell. Food to touch your tongue, you taste. Then things to touch the little teeny tiny fibers on your hands and stuff you feel. But it's still literally all in one sense is touch. So it's still something physically that you're doing that brings you into the spiritual realm. So, we learned that through doing physical things. So it just runs into each other anyway, whether we like it or not. We can try to separate the two, but it just, at least for me, it's just not going to work. Right now I'm rambling because I don't know what else to say about it. Just, study the physical and you'll see the spiritual. A lot of us like to shop, right? So study the days that that they say the sales are, and then study the days of the week, and then study the planets. This will help you when to physically shop and how to make the physical aspect of shopping work for you. Like most of us, we're used to shopping on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, sometimes Thursdays. If you really want to get ahead in life, you should be shopping like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Sometimes Thursday, but you really want to stay away from Thursdays. The only shopping you should be doing on Fridays are things that bring you pleasure. And Saturdays you shouldn't be shopping at all. Saturday should be a day of discipline, a day of planning, a day of holding back, a day of saving. And like they said, Sunday's always a day of rest. It's a day of joy. Anything you buy that day should be restful, peaceful, joy. If you buy anything, everything should be prepared that day for you to just rest. And that really has nothing to do with the Bible. It's just having the day being a day of the sun and how the sun charges you and how the sun helps release toxins as opposed to you being in the store stressed out at the same time everybody else is trying to get what you got to get done. And I get it. We all got to do what we got to do. But if you can rearrange that, then that physical aspect of spending money will flow much more better with the spiritual aspect of what you're trying to do and bring into your life. And that's a way to physically work it with your spirituality to make it full round. I don't know who need to hear that, but apparently somebody did. So, that works for you, whoever it was. But I'm going to get out of here now, so I got to go. Thank you, everybody, for listening to me ramble. Don't forget to watch everybody's videos. Don't forget to thumbs up. Don't forget to comment. And if you're not subscribed, you might as well go ahead and hit that button because we already know you done binge watched. So you might as well hit the button so you know when we go live because you're going to be here anyway. So with that, stay blessed to be a blessing. And if for nobody else, make sure you do it for yourself. And I'll see you next week. Peace.